Okay, we're a week and a half away from the start of the playoffs. So just doing your standard preview this morning didn't feel like it was going to work. So I didn't set it up that way, and I probably won't from here. Especially once we get up to next Saturday night, where there'll be 15 games, and odds are some of those games are just going to feature two teams that are going nowhere. So there's going to be some interesting things that I could throw on the board that maybe aren't about that night's game. So that's what I've tried to do today, and I'll probably get creative with it from here. The Jack Hughes ranking, for instance, might stay on the board from here. I haven't really decided yet. First up, the Detroit Red Wings are in against the Buffalo Sabres. The Red Wings are 28, 38, and 10 overall. Buffalo's 31, 36, and 9 overall. It has been a miserable season for both teams. On the road, Detroit's 14, 20, and 5 at home. Buffalo's 20, 13, and 4. So Buffalo's much better at home than they are on the road, where they've lost 13 in a row. That being said, Detroit seems to be the better of the two teams right now. Detroit in their last 10 is 5 and 5. They've won 2 in a row. Detroit fans are going, why now? Why now? In their last 10, the Buffalo Sabres are 1 8 and 1. They've lost 4 in a row. Right now, in points, the Detroit Red Wings have 66. In the last 5 years, it went like this. Last year, they had 73. The year before that, 79. The year prior, 93. Before that, 100, and before that, 93. So it's been quite the fall for Detroit, and it seems to have continued this year. But if they can get to about 70 points, there's more miserable teams out there. And on the Buffalo side, they have 71 points, which sounds really, really low, and it kind of is, but they had 62 points last year. They had 78 the year before, 81 the year before that, 54 the year before that, and 52 the year before that. So as miserable as 71 points truly are, especially the way they got here, it's not their worst season. In fact, it's the third best out of 6. Congratulations. Over their last 10 games, Anthony Mantha with 3 goals and an assist. Athanasiou's got 7 goals, 3 assists. N has a goal and an assist for Detroit. And Bowie has a goal and 2 assists. On the Buffalo side, Eichel's got a goal and 2 assists. Nylander, 3 goals, 2 assists. Mittelstadt has a goal and an assist. Scandella has a goal. On the goaltender side of things, Howard, I don't know who they go with here. I don't think they can go wrong, really. Goalies' numbers have been good lately. Howard's 3 and 2 in their last 10 with a .910 save percentage. Bernier's 2 and 3 with a .931 save percentage. On the Buffalo side, Ullmark is listed as likely to be the starter tonight. Hutton would be the backup. He is 1-5-1 in their last 10 with an .899 save percentage. Ullmark's 0-3 with an .895 save percentage. Buffalo has won both meetings between these two teams this year. Now, if you're looking at Hughes odds, the odds of them drafting first overall, Detroit is at 11.5%. Buffalo is at 8.5%. So they both have a pretty darn good chance. The best chance on the board doesn't belong to the team that has it, and we'll get to that. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to play for tonight, so I figured I'll throw in the Jack Hughes thing and compare their numbers to last year, and we'll just leave it at that. Next up, Montreal and Columbus. This is the opposite. This is a meetup where these two teams have a lot to play for. Tonight could go a long way to deciding who gets this spot. Now, for Columbus, it is desperation time. And they have a game in hand on Montreal. They're 2 points back. If they lose tonight, their power's gone. They'd be 4 points back. Still have that game in hand, but 4 points back. The Montreal Canadiens are 41, 28, and 8, whereas Columbus is 42, 30, and 4. Now, on the road, Montreal's 18, 16, and 4 at home. The Columbus Blue Jackets are 21, 16, and 2. Last 10, Montreal's 5-4 and 1. They won their last game. Columbus is also 5-4 and 1, and they've won 2 in a row. Now, looking at points totals, comparing them to their last 5 seasons, Montreal's got 90 right now. They had 71 last year. But last year was an outlier, kind of. They had 103 the year before that, 82 the year before that, 110 the year before that, and 100 the year before that. So They have the wave, and that's continued. They're on the upswing this year. Whereas Columbus, their 88 points is actually they are going to take a bit of a drop from last year. Last year they had 97. The year before 108. The year prior to that 76, where of course they missed the playoffs. Before that 89, and before that 93. So even though 88 points is a pretty good season, it is still a drop. They're very slowly dropping down, and by losing Panarin, by losing Bobrovsky, and potentially losing Duchesne, Dzingel, by losing all these guys, it'll probably be a more precipitous drop next year unless they can replace them with a lot of good players. On the scoring side of things, Tatar, 3 goals, 6 assists for Montreal. Shaw, 2 goals, 7 assists. Wheel has a goal and 4 assists in his last 10 games. Kulak, 2 goals, 3 assists on the blue line. On the Columbus side, and I'm aware they have a lot of prospects that Jarmo Kekalainen likes, but if you throw in too many prospects too fast, that's a problem. Panarin, a goal and 4 assists in their last 10. Dzingel, 3 goals, 4 assists. Bjorkstrand, 4 goals. And Jones with 4 assists. On the goaltending side of things, Price hasn't been confirmed, but he's going to play. He's 5-3-1 in their last 10 with a .923 save percentage. Niemi, 0-1 with an .833 save percentage. Bobrovsky's been confirmed. He's 5-2 in their last 10 with a .955 save percentage. Yeah, he's playing pretty well down the stretch here. Korpisalo, 0-2-1 with a .906 save percentage. Now, of course, there's the chance that both of them make the playoffs and Carolina misses. That's a whole other conversation that we'll get to in the next preview, as in the next game over. So they're 2 points ahead of Columbus. The Montreal Canadiens have 5 games left. Columbus has 6 games left. Montreal has won both meetings between these teams this year. And I don't know. I could see Montreal going in and beating Columbus, only because Columbus has been struggling at home for most of the season. Those big games they need, it's their home record that's kind of hurt them. Now, for the record, Columbus has a 1% chance of winning the lottery right now. It is a lottery-protected draft pick that was traded to Ottawa. So if it was a top 3 pick, it goes to Columbus. If it's outside the top 3, Ottawa makes that draft pick. So no matter what, Ottawa's not allowed to look at Hughes or Kakko rule across the NHL. All right, next up, Washington and Carolina. Here are the Carolina Hurricanes, and this is going to be interesting. I don't know if they're going to do a surge tonight or just have a collective sigh of relief at center ice should they actually win this game. Washington has kind of had their number this year. Washington's 45-24-8. The Carolina Hurricanes 42-27-7. Now on the road, the Capitals are 22-14-2, whereas at home, Carolina's 22-12-4. In their last 10, Washington's 6-3-1 with 2 wins in a row. In their last 10, Carolina's 6-4, and they lost their last game. Now, points totals, Washington sits with 98, and they're atop their division. Over the last 5 years, 105, 118, 120, 101, 90. That means right now they're on the cusp of reaching 100 points for the 5th straight year. And of course, last year they won the Stanley Cup with 105. Now, the Carolina Hurricanes have 91 over the last 5 years. Last year they had 83, the year before 87, prior to that 86. Before that 71, and before that 83. They are already at the highest point total that they've ever had over the last 6 years, which is remarkable. It really is. It's been a remarkable run for the Carolina Hurricanes in a year where a lot of us thought they were done. The interesting part with Carolina is this. So, I believe it was Ray Ferraro who was talking about Carolina and said it's crazy that Ron Francis is out of work. And a lot of this lineup that's been put together for Carolina this year, that's got Ron Francis's name on it. The thing was, what immediately occurred to me was, well, the goaltending has changed. And the trade with Calgary was made, so it is a different team. And I guess that's the question that I would ask Carolina fans. If Francis had stayed in place, are they a playoff team right now? They're only 8 points clear of last year's numbers. Would they have gained those 8 points with Francis in charge. Would Francis have picked up McElhinney as an example? Would he have signed Mrazek? Anyways, on to notable scorers over their last 10 games. On the Washington side, Hagelin has 2 goals and 5 assists in their last 10. Vrana with 3 goals and assists. Nick Dowd with 3 assists. And Jensen with 2 assists. On the Carolina side of things, Aho, 1 goal, 4 assists. Teravainen, a goal and 8 assists. McGinn has a goal. And Justin Falk has 5 assists. Goaltenders, no confirmation for Washington. I would expect Holtby here. He's 4-3-1 with a .917 save percentage, and they're down the stretch now, so I would expect Holtby to play a little more. That said, if they go to Copley, they're fine. He's 2-0 with a .964 save percentage. On the Carolina side of things, McElhinney is listed as likely. Mrazek's 4-2 with a .939 save percentage in their last 10. McElhinney is 2-2 with an .873 save percentage. Washington's won all 3 meetings with Carolina. So if this was a first round preview, Carolina's got to figure this out. They just got to. Next up, Florida. This is one of those games I don't have to spend as much time on because it's Florida and Ottawa. They're both missing the playoffs. 33-32-12 is the record for Florida. 27-43-6 is the record for Ottawa. On the road, Florida's 14-19-6 at home. Ottawa's 17-16-4 in their last 10. Florida's 5-5 with 3 losses in a row. I would like to take a moment to say I appreciate the Florida Panthers not waiting until the last week of the year this year to fall out of the playoffs. That feels bad. So congratulations to them. On the other hand, and on the more serious side, Florida's the team that I do think can do what Carolina's done this year next year. They've got all the pieces in place. The goaltending's been a problem. The defense has been sketchy. But they have a lot of the pieces they need to compete. Over their last 10, the Ottawa Senators are 4-5-1. They've won 2 in a row. 78 points for Florida this year. 78. Last year they had 96. The year before 81. The year before that 103. They won their division with 103 points. 91 the year before that, and 66 the year before that. So this is right around middle of the road for them. On the Ottawa side, they have 60 points. All right. They had 67 last year, 98 the year before that, 85 the year prior, 99 the year prior, and 88 before that. So this is the most miserable season Ottawa's had, I've got to say, since they were shortly removed from expansion. It's been kind of gross. Scoring over their last 10, Huberdeau, 5 goals, 11 assists. Haraluk, 3 goals, 2 assists. Borgstrom, 3 assists. And Uyghur, the guy who may have ended Paul Byron's season, 3 goals and 3 assists. I've talked about abolishing the code before. Brady Tkachuk, 5 goals, 2 assists. Tierney, 2 goals, 3 assists. Gibbons with 4 goals, 3 assists. And Yarosh has an assist in their last 10 games. On the goaltending side, I don't know for Florida. They got 3 guys. Luongo is 1-1 with an .896 save percentage in their last 10. Is it Montembeault? Is it Reimer? Is it Luongo? Your guess is as good as mine on that one. Nilsson is listed as likely for Ottawa. Anderson's 2-3-1 with a .912 save percentage in their last 10, whereas Nelson's 2-2 with a .922 save percentage. Florida has won 2 out of 3 meetings between they and the Ottawa Senators this year. Florida has a 3% chance of winning the draft lottery. And 18.5% chance to Colorado for winning the draft lottery via the Ottawa Senators. So, while we talk about that number 1 draft pick, it's still only an 18% chance. There's an 81.5% chance Colorado does not pick first. Although without the trade, they have a 0% chance. So, good on them and all. Next up. All right. Islanders and Winnipeg. The Islanders are 44-26-7, whereas the Winnipeg Jets are 45-27-4. On the road, the Islanders are 21-14-3. They've been a pretty good road team this year. At home, Winnipeg's 25-10-4. So Winnipeg, there's no need for alarm right now, but they don't look as solid to me as last year. They don't. Over their last 10, the Islanders are 5-5. They lost their last game, whereas the Jets are 6-4 in their last 10. They lost their last game. The Islanders have 95 points, so we'll put that in 5-year perspective. Last year, they had 80. The year prior, 94. The year before that, 100. The year before that, 101. The year before that, 79. So, while last year was an 80-point season, the 3 years before that were not entirely unlike the 95 points they have right now. On the Winnipeg side, they have 94 points. Last year, they had 114. They can't get to that. The year before, 87. The year prior, 78. The year prior, 99. And the year prior, 84. So, while they're first in their division, the points would tell you that they've dropped a bit from where they were last year. Now, I'll defer to the Washington Capitals here as they dropped from 118 to 105, and they were a better playoff team. And they were a better playoff team than they were the year they had 120 as well. So, points don't dictate who's going to win a Stanley Cup. Just tells you who's had a better regular season. But there have been some cracks with Winnipeg. Over their last 10, Bailey, 2 goals and an assist for the Islanders. Beauvillier, an assist. Clutterbuck, an assist. You can use some scoring from those guys. They've shown at points this year they can chip in. Pulock has a goal and an assist on the Winnipeg side. Scheifele, 3 goals, 2 assists in their last 10. Connor, 8 goals, 5 assists. And Perreault, 3 goals and 3 assists. Sherratt with a goal and 3 assists to round out the scoring for Winnipeg. Goaltenders, no confirmation. I kind of expect Greiss here, but I could see them going with Leonard. Greiss is 3-4 in their last 10 with a .911 save percentage. Leonard's 2-1 with a .934 save percentage. I would be very surprised if Hellebuck doesn't start today. He's 4-3 with a .929 save percentage in their last 10. And I haven't heard anything about Brossoit being good to go. And even if he was, against the Islanders late in the season and with the division potentially on the line, you're going to go with your best goaltender, who is Hellebuck. So whether it's Comrie, whether it's Brossoit that's the backup today, it doesn't really matter. Winnipeg has won the only meeting between these two teams this year. I don't have anything to add about the draft lottery because it's not a thing in this one. But the one thing I'll say with this one, 95 points for the Islanders. They're 3 points back of Washington. They'll also be watching what goes on with Carolina. They're 4 points ahead of Carolina. They're sitting comfortably well ahead of Columbus at 7 points. Whereas for Winnipeg, like I said, they're first in their division. They want to salt that away. So we'll see what they can do. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and change boards. Before I get this next one going too, allergies have shown reared their ugly heads due to the fact that there's a lot of pollen and crap going on right now. So I apologize up front for that. It is that time of year. Spring is here. So you go from winter where it's just miserable and cold, and you're like, yes, I can go outside. I really wish I hadn't gone outside. And this is without even going outside. Dallas is in against Edmonton tonight. So Dallas coming off of a really nice victory over the Flames, now going against the Oilers, and they have to avoid falling into the same trap that the Kings did. The Kings go in, they shut out Calgary, great game. They go into Edmonton, they lay an egg. Now, Dallas is a better team than LA, but it's still a concern. It's the second of back-to-back games, and it features them against a team that it might be a little more difficult to get up for, and it's a very dangerous team because they're not technically out. Edmonton's not technically out. Now, 40, 31, and 6 is the record for the Dallas Stars. 34, 34, and 8 is the record for the Oilers. On the road, Dallas is 18, 17, and 3. It has not been above 500 in a very, very long time. Whereas the Oilers are 18, 17, and 3 at home. Over their last 10, both teams are 5, 4, and 1. Dallas has won 2 in a row. The Oilers have won their last game. Dallas sits with 84 points. They had 92 last year, so they were a better team last year, but they missed the playoffs because the West was overall better. 79 the year before that, 109 the year before that. That was when the channel was really getting going, and they had Lettinen and Niemi as their goaltenders, and I knew they weren't going anywhere. 92 the year before that, and 91 the year before that. So the weird thing is, it's possible that they'll finish with the second lowest point total they've had in the last 6 years and still make the playoffs. On the Edmonton side, they have 76 points. Last year, they had 78. The year before, 103. The year before that, 70. The year prior, 62. And the year prior, 67. So a bunch of mediocrity, that 103-point season, which led people to believe that they were going to challenge for a Stanley Cup. There were predictions made that they were going to challenge for a Stanley Cup. And here we are. They're nowhere near. Over their last 10, Tyler Seguin, 4 goals, 9 assists. Radulov, 5 goals, 5 assists. Cogliano has a goal and an assist. And Heiskanen with a goal and 3 assists for Dallas. On the Edmonton side, McDavid, 6 goals, 14 assists. And a lot of talk about how McDavid, he would win the Art Ross if he'd played every game. But it's going to end up going to Kucherov. Chase on 3 goals, 4 assists. Lucic with an assist. And Clefbaum with a goal and 7 assists. It's not the first time that a guy wins the Art Ross that he wouldn't have if somebody else had played every game. I'm talking about Sidney Crosby in the year that Henrik Sedin wins the scoring race. If Crosby plays every game that year, he wins it. Goaltenders, confirmation that Hudobin's starting, which will make my Bishop senses tingle like crazy. Bishop's 4-1 in their last 10 with a .957 save percentage. Is he done for the year? Hudobin's 1-3-1, but he has a .933 save percentage. He's fine. They need to score for him. Tonight they're against the Oilers, who will have Koskinen starting. He hasn't been confirmed, but he just seems to play every game. He's 5-3-1 with an .893 save percentage in their last 10. Stolarz is 0-1 with an .889 save percentage. So they'll go with Koskinen. They're really playing him into the ground, aren't they? They're 7 points back of a playoff spot are those Oilers with 6 games left. Both teams have won a game in this series between them this year. The Oilers currently sit with a 3.5% chance of drafting number 1 overall, which really will make a lot of people feel good about things, won't it? All right, that being said, moving along. We have got the LA Kings and the Vancouver Canucks, and in a matchup where one team's still mathematically alive, and that's Vancouver, they can be eliminated tonight. I would think any result that's not a regulation or overtime win, and they're done. Anyways, the LA Kings are 28-40-8, and Vancouver is 32-35-10. Both teams have had seasons that they're not likely very happy with, but you know what? LA, it's just a down year, and for Vancouver, it's bizarre. They're kind of better than they were last year, but it just doesn't feel like it because it's incremental. It's such a small improvement every year. On the road, LA's 13-20-5. At home, Vancouver 17-16-5. Last 10, 4-6-0 is the record for LA. They lost their last game. Vancouver's 4-5-1. They've lost 3 in a row. 64 points is where LA is sitting right now. They had 98 last year, 86 the year before that, 102 the year before that, 95 the year before, and 100 the year before that. So 2 years with 100, 1 year with 98, and this is just a down year for them. I expect some sort of a bounce back next year. I don't know how much. It really depends on what management does with the Kings in the offseason. 74 points for Vancouver. They had 73 last year, 69 the year before that, 75 the year before that, 101 the year before, and 83 the year before that. So, oddly enough, if the Canucks win one more game from here, or just get two points from here, it is their best point production in 4 years. It doesn't feel like it, does it? Anyways, scoring in their last 10 games, Dustin Brown with 5 goals, 5 assists for LA. Carter, 2 goals, 2 assists. Lewis with 3 assists. Forbert has a goal and 2 assists. On the Vancouver side, Horvat, 4 goals, 6 assists. Pettersson, a goal and 7 assists for him. That's right, I said Peterson. Virtanen with 3 goals and Biega with 3 assists. So Jake Virtanen now up to 15 goals. It would be funny if he got like a hat trick tonight and ended up with 20 at the end of the year. Anyways, it's not going to happen. I expect Quick here. Quick's 3-4 in their last 10 with an .870 save percentage. Campbell's 1-2 with a .919 save percentage over that same period. Whereas for Vancouver, I don't know. Markstrom, Demko, either way. Markstrom's 3-1 over the last 10 with an .888 save percentage. Demko's 1-2 with a .904 save percentage. Like I said, they're 9 points back. There's only 5 games left. Vancouver has won 2 out of 3 meetings between these teams this year. So this is the 4th and final. We'll see if Vancouver can make it 3 out of 4. Right now, LA has a 13.5% chance of drafting Hughes. Vancouver has a 6% chance. And that's what they're looking at. That's the key thing right now. What's our odds? At least for fans, right? The players don't care. Players don't look at that part of things. They're just looking at their season and trying to find a pride as a reason to play. And it's funny because Jack Eichel was talking about that the other night and how tough it's been in Buffalo because they should be playing for and even games that don't mean anything. You play for yourself. You play for pride. And I thought, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He says all the right things. Let's see if it helps turn Buffalo around, or if eventually he's going to be like, you know what, forget Buffalo, and he decides he wants out. Imagine if both Eichel and McDavid decided that's it, we don't want to be part of this. Just imagine that. Anyways, that being said, moving along. Chicago. Yes, the Hawks. 33-10 in against the San Jose Sharks, who were 43-24-9. So the Hawks, who a couple months ago I was talking about, they could get Jack Hughes. Now, not much chance. But they did this crazy thing and they went on a run and very nearly made the playoffs. I don't see them getting in, but they're still mathematically alive. On the road, they're 16-19-3, whereas San Jose's 23-9-4. Don't let that fool you. San Jose's been on a bit of a streak in the wrong direction lately. And it's made things a lot easier for Calgary in terms of they're clinching a spot in the playoffs and probably clinching the division. But, for San Jose, I have some concerns heading into the playoffs. Over their last 10, Chicago 6-3-1 with a loss in their last game. San Jose 4-5-1. They most recently have 2 regulation losses in a row. But it's been a while since they were in the W column. 76 points for the Chicago Blackhawks. The same amount of points they had all of last season. The year before, of course, they had 4 100-point seasons in the 4 years prior. 109, 103, 102, and 107. So this is an unusual world that Chicago finds themselves in. And again, you're talking about teams with interesting management decisions in the offseason. Management in Chicago has got some decisions to make as well. San Jose, easy for me to say. 95 points this year. They had 100 last year. Before that, 99. Before that, 98. 89 the year before, 111 the year before that. I'm going to guess they win 2 of the rest of the way, and they finish with 99 or 100 points, because 98, 99, 100. Maybe they get 101. They're building their way up. 98, 99, 100, 101. Eventually, they'll hit 120, like 18 years from now. Anyways, it is an excellent program they have in San Jose, and it shows in the regular season results, but that's not what they're fighting for right now. It's for postseason, but they do have some problems. Now, over their last 10, Patrick Kane with a goal and 7 assists, Dylan Strome with 4 assists, Saad 2 goals, 3 assists, Keith with 3 goals and 2 assists. On the San Jose side of things, Timo Meier 5 goals, 3 assists, Donskoy 3 assists, Melker Karlsson has a single goal, Mark-Edward Vlasic 1 goal, 9 assists. On the goaltending side of things, no confirmation. It's going to be Crawford. He's 6-3-1 in their last 10 with a .942 save percentage. I just have Dealey up there because why not? 0-1, .855 save percentage. But yeah, it's Crawford's net. I expect Jones for San Jose. He's 3-4 in their last 10 with a .903 save percentage. Whereas Aaron Dell, 1-1-1 with an .855 save percentage. And I think Dell may find himself out of San Jose this offseason. Just something tells me they're going to look to change things up at backup. We'll see what happens there. Now, Chicago is 7 points back. They have 6 games left, so they're technically in this. But notice I keep saying technically. San Jose has won both meetings between these teams this year. They're trying to make it a clean sweep. Right now, Chicago has a 5% chance of drafting Jack Hughes. So it's possible. There's a 1 in 20, but it's not probable. It's entirely likely that one of the bottom 3 will get it. But even the way that the odds are set up, it's a 43 or 44% chance, I think, that Hughes goes to one of the bottom 3 teams. Yeah, so odds are better than 50% that one of the teams that we're not talking about tanking for Hughes actually gets the pick. And that's kind of why the NHL set it up this way. As much as purists really hate it, hockey purists think the whole system as it's set up right now isn't fair. Oh, it's fair. It means that if you miss the playoffs, you have a chance to draft first overall. And if you tank, you have a better chance, but not a great chance. So it discourages complete and total sell-offs at the deadline. And there are some teams who've taken it to ridiculous lengths. This summer at some point, or maybe just after the regular season's done and there's less games on, I can look into teams that have done it and how it's worked out for them. But for now, we're all done. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.